Hey everybody, I'm Nate Warnock.
I'm Andrew Warnock.
And this is our Sunday Night Live event where we pop on, Andrew and I together make up the Marriage by Design podcast. So here we are on Sunday night, popping on, chance to just talk to you guys, get a feel for the Marriage by Design community and what you guys have liked, what you haven't liked, what questions you have, marriage-related questions that you have, family-related questions that you have, comments about how my hat is not on correctly. There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
It has been a baseball tournament weekend. So as you will see for tonight and 6 more weekends sprinkled around throughout the summer, these events can be a little hairy because we rush around all weekend at Jackson's baseball tournament and then rush home and try and get the kids to bed, and here we are.
We look.
That's right.
You got way too much stuff.
I know, I'm looking kind of Donald Trump-ish right now. A little orange. Yeah, looking a little orange.
I look red, not orange.
I know, but I look orange in the camera. Nice. All right. So first thing that we do, as we do every Sunday night, we're going to do our 3,000 questions about me. So for those that are here in the chat, if you have a number between 1 and 3,000, go ahead and throw it in the comments. Don't need to say anything other than that. If you don't want to, just give us a number between 1 and 3,000, and we will get to yours last. So I pick one, Andrea picks one, and then you guys get to pick at least one. So a number between 1 and 3,000.
Yeah, there's people watching us, so just put a number in.
That's right, between 1 and 3,000. These are questions. I see one already come in. These are questions about us. So we're going to answer them and would love to have you guys answer them as well. You do win. That's right. You're always the winner, Leslie. All right, Andrea, go first. What do you got?
Okay, number 2,999.
Whoa, 2,999.
That's going to be at the end of the book.
What do you mean? Okay. What is something you wish you could avoid?
Death and taxes.
Yes. Do you wish you could avoid death? Okay, so this is a question maybe for you guys' thoughts that are watching, because this is being spoken through the lens of a person who has grandparents that are 98 and seeing what life looks like for someone who's 98. And I'm becoming less and less convinced the older I get that I think I want to avoid death.
No, I mean, I don't want to avoid death. It's just part of life, right?
Right.
No, I think what I really wish I could avoid is ever hurting somebody. That's never my intention. So, and I know it happens. So, that would be something I would like to avoid.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
And feeling hurt.
Yeah.
That'd be great too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good call. So for me, at least, yeah, right.
Really well.
Yeah, right. Aging. Leslie says aging. So the question for those of you who are just popping in was, what is something you wish you could avoid? And there's Leslie, beautiful Leslie, who doesn't look a day over 21, saying she wishes she could avoid aging.
Yeah, or maybe she's asking for me if I would avoid aging. You and me,
yes.
Yes, you and me both did.
Yeah, that's right.
It is a huge issue of mine.
So what's something that I wish I could avoid? I wish I could avoid taking on calories whilst eating pizza.
This has been something for about
I know.
years.
No, this is something I'm laser focused on.
Yeah, she says no. I'm saying that for Andrea. Yes, because
Yes.
she knows me so well.
Yeah, that is something that I know you would want to avoid.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well then, so you did 2,999.
Why do you like pizza so much?
I mean, because it's amazing. I mean, there's one thing we know for sure: the tree of life in the garden, it just grew pizzas.
So Eve ate a bite of pizza.
No, that not the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life. The one they could eat.
Yes, gotcha.
Pizza. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil was obviously spinach. Okay, so you did 2,999. I'm going to 2 then. Number 2.
All right, two.
What is your greatest fear? Yes, who does number 2 work for? What is your greatest fear?
Oh, aging.
This is a thing.
Aging and
Bam!
yes.
Aging. It's answers for both questions.
That's up there for sure. I mean, it's so hard. That's silly. That's a really vain fear to have, but it's true. Aging, hurting somebody.
Is it just your answer for everything? If we're going to do Leslie's question next, and if your answer is aging and hurting someone, then we're throwing this book
I don't
out.
know. I don't have very many fears, but that you and the kids would die. Like young.
Yeah, that's probably my greatest fear is not. I don't know. I suppose I fear death, like in the same way that I fear like going on a roller coaster. You know what I mean? The first time where it's like, oh man, I don't know how this is gonna be, but then you go on it and it's good. I think I fear death in that way, but I will say probably my greatest fear is dying like young.
Yes.
Right, like where I don't get to see the kids grow up and who they're gonna marry and what they're gonna do. Like I think I could reach a point in my life where I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, because then they'll have grandkids, right? And then I'm like, oh, I really want to see my grandkids grow up. But I'm sure at some point it's like, Lord, thank you that you gave me life long enough to see my kids grow up.
Right.
And man, I'd love to see my grandkids, and I'm going to dote on them, as much as I can while I can. But at least I get to see my kids grow up. That's probably my greatest. That's probably my greatest fear. Leslie, we miss you too.
A lot.
And yeah, for sure.
A lot.
For sure. All right, so Leslie posted up for a question. So again, while we're talking about this book, 3,000 Questions About Me, is one that we start each Sunday night off with, and it's just a chance for us to be silly and have some fun. And it's literally that 300 questions that are numbered 1 through 3,000, and you go through them. It's a good icebreaker if you have friends over to your house, or it's a great dinner time activity. We just had a Family Friday episode about having dinners around the table as a family and the importance of that. This is a great book to use for that if you find it difficult to break into conversation around the dinner table. So Leslie's question was number 7. And if anyone else has a question they want to do, you are welcome to throw it in the chat on whatever platform you're watching us on. Okay. So the question is, number 7, on what occasion do you lie? I mean, you're on the internet. This is never going to be not.
Occasionally I lie to my kids. I mean, actually, I lie a lot to them when they're asking. There are times, and I'm sure every parent feels this, when you feel like there's just been too many questions today, and they ask me a question, I just say, I don't know. Like, I definitely know the answer. I just don't feel like explaining it to them. So, just say, I don't know. So I lie to my kids probably once a day. Other occasions that
no one's going to watch our Family Friday episodes anymore. They used to think you knew everything about parenting, and now the truth is out.
Oh, well.
If you're watching this because you think we know everything about parenting, you should stop immediately.
Right, sure. Other occasions that I lie, I don't know. It's few and far between. I don't know what.
So I just saw this. This is great.
I tell my kids always. Because I tell my kids that something is missing because I threw it away.
That's so good.
Same thing. If I throw something or give something away, then they remember later, which is rare, and they'll say something about it. A lot of times I'll tell them like I gave it away or I threw it away or something, but sometimes I'll be like, I don't know.
That's so seriously though, because what is it about kids that like they doodle something for 10 minutes and then they think you're gonna keep that all time?
It's not even that. It's like, oh, you haven't played with that toy for a year, and I got rid of it.
Well,
of course, they haven't thought about it for a year.
No.
I got rid of it yesterday, and now
that's
that toy?
That's a guarantee. If you throw away a toy that they haven't played with in ages, the next day they will think of it. That's a promise.
Yeah, occasions that I would lie. I suppose for safety reasons, I would do that.
Like what?
I don't know.
Getting all theoretical now.
If I was trying to keep myself or my family safe and I needed to lie, I would do that.
So this is like the Hebrew midwives. When
of course.
They were told to kill.
Yeah. For moral reasons, I That's kind of silly for moral reasons. I would lie. Higher moral reasons. I don't know. There's occasions that you lie, but I would say generally I'm an extremely truthful person.
Yeah. No, the truth is important to you, which was a thing in our relationship for a long time. Yeah, I get it. Okay, on what occasion do you lie? So because this just happened today. So and happens pretty much every baseball game.
Oh, when I tell my kids that their artwork is beautiful, sometimes it's a lie. Okay.
Anyway. I mean, now they're going to see this someday, and they're going to be traumatized.
It's a good lie.
So Leslie gives it. This is probably an example of what you were talking about. Don't run away from me. Someone will take you.
Yes.
Right. I mean, that could be
right.
true. But yeah, that's I understand where you're coming from, and that both of you guys, and that makes sense to me. Okay, so for me, this is one that happens pretty frequently when we're at baseball. So I coach Jackson's baseball team. It's a 10-year-old baseball team, and we have tried since forever with this baseball team to remind them, hey, you need to worry about the game right now, right? Don't worry about what's going on next inning or two. Right now, we're just going to stay involved in the game right now. And so routinely, people will say, what's the score? And I don't necessarily do this, but my scorekeeper always does. And I don't stop him, so I guess it's lying by, and I love him. But every time, it doesn't matter. We might have just scored 50 runs, and someone will go, what's the score? And he goes, we're only up by 1. We got to keep playing hard. And I'm sure the players are going, we just scored like 20. But yeah, all the time he does that. Or the other way, if the game is going really bad, he always tells them, we're just down by 1. Just get one more run. And of course, then it's awkward because then we score one more run and they go, so we're tied. And he goes, oh, we got to get one more run. So he's great. I love it. But yeah, it's a silly little thing. But yeah, that's the thing. So, all right. So that's what we do for 3,000 questions about us. Leslie, thanks for giving us a number and a little conversation there. That was great. Love it. So, okay. So Family Friday from last week, what did we talk about?
We talked about family dinners.
We did.
So we talked about
the importance
of them. We had some statistics that we talked through, which was fun. And then how to do family dinners if that's hard for you because either it's not something that you're used to or because life is busy and your schedule's crazy. And so trying to find unique ways to have family dinners, which reminds me, how do you find a unique? Stop. Yeah, it was a really insightful. I mean, the statistical part of it was really, I think, what stood out to me. And I'm sorry to be distracted. I'm going to put a link in it in case anyone did not have an opportunity to watch it. So all the links I put in are for YouTube. So yeah, Leslie says, got a snooze. Taking a flight at 7 a.m. Heyo. To Florida. No, to Florida. It's flying to Florida at 7 a.m. Hey, safe travels, Leslie. We love you. Hopefully we get to see you again soon. So thanks. Okay, so I posted up in the chat the link to our YouTube video from Friday on family dinners. The statistics in the first part are really incredible about how much difference it makes just having a few dinners around the table or wherever, right? Yeah. As we kind of talked about in that video, but just paused time where the whole family is together, the phones are put away, and we're focused on each other. Listen to that episode at least just for the statistics because they were fascinating.
That's right. And as always, if you don't want to check it out on YouTube, no worries. That's perfectly fine. You can check it out on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or Anchor or any of the podcasting places. We're on all those. Love to have you subscribe to us and watch those.
Yep.
So,
all right. Then it was Monday.
That's right. So Monday, we have continued our series. So we started a series several weeks back about the fruits of the Spirit in marriage. So if you're not aware of what the fruits of the Spirit are,
and Nathan's going to sing them for you right now.
I'm not going to do that because I don't even know what the song is. But they are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. Yes. I think that is all of them. I probably had them out of order, but I think that's all of them. Galatians 5, starting, I believe, in verse 22, it talks about the fruits of the Spirit. And in Galatians, he's actually juxtaposing those to what he calls the works of the flesh. So the works of the flesh, there's a lot more of them than the fruits of the Spirit. But it's basically, hey, the fruits of our lives what do those say about who's governing our lives, right? Is it the flesh or is it the spirit? And we've talked a bunch on our channel about how when we submit our lives to Christ, we're filled with the Holy Spirit. That's a promise. You can see that in Jesus' life in the Gospels. He promises that. But once we're filled with the Spirit, that doesn't just mean that we become these God robots that do all the godly things all the time. Instead, what we've committed to is engaging in a battle for the rest of our natural lives of our flesh that is trapped in original sin, going all the way back to the Garden of Eden, versus the Spirit. And which of those is winning in our lives? Well, we will know by our fruit, either by the works of the flesh or the fruits of the Spirit. So the question is, what are those fruits of the Spirit? Well, I just mentioned them a minute ago, and we as a couple on Marriage Mondays are going through each of those and asking the question, what would these look like within our marriages? Because as a Christian couple, our marriage should also reflect those fruits of the Spirit, right? Because you're filled with the Spirit, I'm filled with the Spirit, and so our marriage should also be reflecting and filled with those fruits of the Spirit. So we talked about on Monday, we talked about peace, and I put the link there in the chat. Thank you. And so as we talked about peace, the thing that really stood out to me was peace doesn't mean what you think it means, right? Just colloquially, if I said, hey, define peace, what you would say is probably not the biblical definition of that word for peace. So love to have you guys check that out so that you can have a better understanding of what peace really means when we see that word in the Bible and what our marriages should look like as they're filled with peace.
Yep. Cool.
All right. Awesome. Well, babe, do you want to do a round or two of the Newlywed game before we go?
I don't know how many questions.
No, that's all right. Here's your cards right there.
But
and I pulled up a bunch of questions if you want to have a look. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about either of those episodes or just us in general or Marriage by Design as a podcast, I'd love to have you put those in the chat. While we wait for those to come in, if any of them do, we're going to play a couple quick rounds of the Newlywed game. So the way that this works for the Oldlyweds. So the way that this works. And if you have questions as you're watching this for us to do as part of this, please put them in the chat. That'd be fun. But the way that this works is Andrea is going. I pulled up a website, and we've not looked at this ahead of time at all. Andrea's never seen this website before in her life.
Is it online?
Well, I don't know if you have or not. We did not coordinate this, so she's just going to scroll down to a random question on there. She's going to ask it.
Okay.
And no, I'm going to ask it. I will find a random question. Because you did this last time. I'm going to ask it, and I'm going to write down my answer, right?
No, I ask it.
Okay. You're going to ask it. I'll write down my answer, and then she's going to guess my answer, and we'll see if we matched up or not.
Okay. What is your spouse's worst habit?
So this would be, what is your worst habit? That's what I'm answering.
Also not your spouse.
Well, no, but you're answering it about me, or I'm asking about you. Okay.
I'm asking to you.
So your worst habit.
What is your spouse's? What is my worst habit?
Okay. I don't think you're.
I can't see it. I feel like this is really obvious, but
I'm not going to get it then because I didn't think of one that was really obvious. Okay, so flip it. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to hold. Close your eyes. So I'm going to hold it up so you see it. Okay. I don't think you're going to match up with this. I did not feel good about it.
What would I think you would say?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think my worst habit is my impatience.
Yeah, that is a good one. I was thinking of like, I don't know. I'm not thinking that same way.
Bad habits.
Yes.
Okay. What would you say?
I said pulling your hair out because you do that.
I don't do it very often anymore.
I know, but I was thinking of like chewing your fingernails, but you don't do any of those things. Being impatient, do you think of that as a habit?
I don't know.
I would not think of that.
I'm impatient, pull my hair out.
And you do, but you're like
One
super
by one.
particular. Right. It's not like pulling my hair out like I'm angry.
man,
it's
I'm
like
telling
pulling
you
my
guys
hair
too
out
much.
like she'll like look through her hair for that one hair and pull it out.
I'm telling you guys, wow, we're really let the skeletons out of the closet here.
Was that a bad thing?
It's just a weird thing.
It's like chewing your fingernails. No, it's not that weird. I'm sure there are other people that do that.
Okay.
All right, what do you got?
Your spouse asks you to grab them a treat from the store on your way home. What do you buy?
Okay, this has been a real
Hold on,
thing.
hold on.
So, okay.
All right. Please.
Ah!
What did she say?
We are a wreck today.
Donuts. I've noticed my choice on donuts lately.
That has been a real thing, though, where literally I went and got donuts when you asked me to
I
pick
do
you up a
love
treat.
donuts. Oh, I love donuts.
All right, one more.
What? Oh, let's see. How many guests did you invite to the wedding?
Oh, jeez. Do you remember down to the number?
Oh, I just round it. How many did we invite? It doesn't say how many did we have.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure I even actually got it. What? Never mind. Just ask it if you want. I would ask.
What would you have guessed, out of curiosity?
Like 550.
I would have said, I was going to write down 450.
Yeah, we had about 375, 400.
That is a stupid big one. Don't, please, if you're not married and you're engaged, don't, please, just don't.
Ridiculous. Oh, what's the worst thing that happened on your wedding day? I can think of several.
All right. So the question is, what's the worst thing that happened on our wedding day? Okay, what do you got?
Okay, I would say, I think our wedding license got thrown away like 3 times.
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Lost the marriage license.
3 times.
Twice
Twice before the wedding, and then, no, like, it didn't get lost, it get thrown away.
No, that's true.
Twice before the wedding, and then once after. My dad had to go dumpster diving the next morning. Was it the next? No,
yeah, it was the next morning.
To find our license, it was in the dumpster with wine stains on it.
Yeah, so our marriage license
Right?
has our marriage license has red wine stains on it because it was thrown in a trash bag along with wine glasses, like
and my parents
disposable wine glasses.
My parents were worried that our tickets to where we were going for our honeymoon were in my married name. We would have my marriage license.
Yeah, that was a little stressful.
So we did put them in our wedding name. But I couldn't decide between that or Nathan woke up really sick on our wedding day. Like threw up sick, right?
Right.
And he called my mom that morning, and I was with my mom, but she was trying to keep it from me. Like,
why did I even call her to tell her? That was dumb.
I think you were just trying to find out, like, what do I do? Because she's a nurse. And so I think you were asking, like, is there something I can take? Because you just felt awful.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then I remember taking pictures. When we were taking pictures, you were, like, kind of shaking because you felt really awful.
Really?
Yeah. And then it went away at some point. They didn't.
Yeah, it's funny because I look back on that day and I don't remember feeling sick at all. Like, I definitely do that morning.
Yeah.
But I don't remember during the day. I don't remember feeling sick.
Yeah, I remember you were kind of shaking when we were taking pictures, and I was like, "What's happening to me?" Like, I just don't feel really good. And then I found out after our wedding that you had woken up really sick. You called mom to find out, can I take?
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
Too much party.
Yeah, that was not the problem.
All right, so that's the newlywed game. We got 1 out of 3, right?
What do we get? When you and I did it? 2 out of 3?
The last time?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we're 3 out of 3. So we've been married 15 years and we know half of the things. about each other. So that's fun.
Lots of them.
Be better. Be better than us. Do the newlywed game on a date night this week with your spouse and be better than 50%. And then come back a week from tonight and tell us about how much better you are. All right, guys. Here's what we have coming up on Marriage by Design podcast. So tomorrow morning, bright and early, we're going to have an episode coming out where we're going to continue our series on the fruits of the Spirit in your marriage. We are going to be talking about patience within marriage.
So we're getting a lot more out.
Yep. So Andrea's going to really be listening in on that. But love to have you guys join us for that as well. And then Family Friday this week, we have a top 5 coming up, right?
Top 5.
Good. So please don't miss out on that. Those top 5s are always fun. We pick a category and we do, here's our top 5 in that category. And I don't want to spoil it. So come back on Friday and love to have you guys enjoy that alongside us. Otherwise, if you don't have any other questions, we'll let you guys get at it tonight. Hopefully you got the kiddos in bed, get a little bit of time, just the two of you. If you're married, to hang out, or dating, to hang out together, get ready for the week. Love to have you. If you have any questions, love to have you leave those in the comments. We always respond to comments after the show's over. So thanks so much for joining us, guys. We will see you this week on Marriage Monday and Family Friday, and then we'll see you back here on Sunday night for Sunday Night Live next week. Until then, guys, thanks so much for joining us. And remember, God is for your marriage. Have a great night. Bye.